Good afternoon, everyone. I want to personally welcome each and every one of you to today's address of the pastor for our final installment of the address of pastor for 2014. Um, we're going to kind of go over some highlights, and I want to present to you my um, my plan for our church for the upcoming church year 2015, beginning in January. Um, Couple of quick little tidbits of information just to kind of go over a couple of highlights here. The Well Fellowship Church launched in March of this year. We launched here at live.thewellfellowship.org. But I want to give you a little brief history of our church. Um, we began as a Skype call called Afterglow Live. We had it was a offshoot of a Bible. It was just a Bible study thing based off of some of the life groups from LifeChurch.tv. We had a great time doing that. God blessed us with some um, awesome people that came our way, and we were blessed to have an excellent an excellent attendance and gathering there. Well, it wasn't long after that we wound up um, using Hangouts because we were just getting so many people, and we wanted to try the video chat type thing, and that worked for a little while. Um, well, it got to the point where one night I was getting ready to lead our Bible study for our weekly Bible study, and I came into the room. Well, there was 10 people in the Hangout room. Um, if you don't have a Google Business account, 10 people is the maximum amount of people that you can have in these Hangouts. So we had that going, and I got the idea. It's like, okay, the teacher can't get in, and I don't want to tell anybody to leave. So what I did was I created what's called an HOA, hanging out on air. And when I did, the audio and video, I'm guessing, was able to be piped into the original hangout from one of the members that were there, and they got to listen to the teaching that night. And ever since, we've been doing hangout on airs as our primary means of teaching. But we've been doing this thing here at live.thewellfellowship.org since March. So that's been roughly March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, roughly 10 months. Um, we look forward to what God has in store for us in the coming year. Um, but I just want to go ahead and say this, and I'm going to run through a couple of statistics, and then we'll move into what we hold for the church in 2015. Um, Over the course of the past 10 months, our average attendance has been around 49 people. Our average salvations per month is about two, um, and that's fine. God has blessed us in our attendance, and I want every one of you to know, if you are currently attending the Well Fellowship Church, please continue to come back, because you know what? We've we've been given, as the first 10 months, we've been given an appetizer, and we've been given opportunity to see what God is going to do in our midst. And you know what? We as a church, we've been blessed in our attending, and God has allowed us to bring people into our midst on Wednesday nights to listen to messages from either myself or from guest preachers such as Bruce Turner, who we had here last Wednesday night. And I again want to publicly thank him for coming and sharing with us during our Christmas series. Um, but God has allowed us to have great attendance. Now, some weeks, it can go from 20 to 7. Some weeks it's not as many, and that's okay. I'm good with that. because not because and I hope I'm not coming off wrong by saying this, but whether we have one person here or whether we have 10 people here, the message is still going to get placed. That's just how determined we are to get the greatest message ever told out to the world. Whether we have one or whether we have 10 people, the message is still going to remain the same for that one person or for those 10 people. Um, we have also been privileged this year to have an interim worship director and a volunteer coordinating manager who serve faithfully with us here whenever they're able to do so. Um, so, what holds for our church for the year of 2015? Well, first of all, I want to challenge everyone from our staff all the way down to our members. I want to challenge everyone, make disciples this year. What does that mean? That means that we go above and beyond the doors of just our social media outlets and our circles, our Facebook friends, and our Twitter followers. I want to share with you a scripture, and if you have been around this church at any length of time, you will know that I'm very passionate about the gospel and about what it means. But I want to share with you some of the greatest instruction that we've ever been given by Jesus Christ Himself. It's found in the book of Matthew, the 28th chapter, and I'm going to start reading, starting in verse number 19. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe or obey everything that I've commanded you. Look, I myself will be with you every day until the end of this present age. It's all about disciples, and it's all about bringing folks in who otherwise would not darken the doors of a church. I also want to offer this to our congregation. Starting in January, we will begin offering small group Bible studies. Um, and if you would be interested in that, after our first Sunday service in January, I will be more than happy to talk to you. And if you're interested and know a little bit more information, you can email us at info@thewellfellowship.org with the subject line um, small group. We'll be happy to let you know about some information about when that's going to be and whatnot. But also, I would encourage you to go by the Facebook page like that. I would encourage you to go by our Twitter page. If you have Twitter, follow us on Twitter. I would even encourage you to go to our Google Plus community page and you search G Plus. That is the letter G with the little plus symbol. The little plus symbol on your computer, on your keyboard. I would even suggest you become a follower there, because we're going to place all that information on all those social media outlets. Whenever they become available, and the location and the link to the room and all that. So, but space will be limited because we're going to use Google Hangouts. Like I said in the opening, there's only 10 people. There's only 10 spots in a Hangout, because these are not going to be as HOAs because of some of the content. But we will. It'll be held on Google Plus inside of one of our Hangout rooms we have there. But we only have 10 spots per hangout. So when you include myself as the facilitator, and then you have maybe one or two other members, there's like four people right there. So you'd have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6 spots left. And I would encourage you, like I said, I would encourage you to take advantage of those. And if you do happen to come into the room, or you try to get into the room one night and the room's full, don't worry, don't panic, because week after week after week, we'll continue to do those, and we'll catch everybody up on what we studied the previous week. So it's not like you're going to be in the dark over what we talked about. So what can you, as a faithful member of this church, do for us? Well, you can pray for her. You can pray for her. You can serve with us. Let me encourage you to do this. We are, excuse me, we're in need of volunteers. We're in need of people who will serve with us here at the church. Um, we want you guys to serve. The only requirement that we have is that you must be at least 18 years old to serve. Um, and there is a process. You'll have to go, and you can go to thewellfellowship.org, and I believe it's to click on the volunteer with us link, and it'll take you to a Google form. Fill that out, send it to us. We'll be happy to allow you to serve with us. But again, it's only open for people who are at least 18 years of age or older. And we'll go into an interview, and we'll have all that information there, and we'll ask questions and talk to each other and all that good jazz. Um, so you can pray for the church. You can serve with us here at the church, because again, this is not a spectator sport. If you haven't noticed already, we do have some moderators that serve with us each and every week, and it's not a spectator sport. On top of praying and on top of serving, you can tell others about us too. Tell others about what we're doing here, and tell others about what God is doing here. God is doing some awesome things. And, again, I said it before, we have been blessed here as a church to do what we do. No, we're not a brick and mortar church. We are an online based church, and that opens up a whole bunch of opportunities for us to get the message out. So now I want to give a little bit of recognition where recognition is in order. I want to say thanks to the following people. First of all, I want to say thanks to God for placing us where He wanted us, and for giving the vision and the plan for this church. Secondly, I want to thank our staff who serve each and every week with us during our services. She's probably, and I'm kind of glad she's not in the chat room or not on the Hangout, but um, I do want to say thank you to Jordan, who is our volunteer coordinator. She's always working with our moderation team and always helping them out any way that she possibly can. And on top of all that, she's also taken on the responsibility of getting some of our promotional materials out onto our social media outlets, such as we have an Instagram. And you may have seen it, on your Google Plus stream, where she sent out a picture or a flyer that's announcing our services. So again, Jordan, we don't tell you enough, but thank you for your service. You have, like I said, you go above and beyond what we ask of you, and we really appreciate that. But other than that, I think that's about all I've got to say for our address of the pastor for today. It didn't take too awful long, about maybe less than 15 minutes. So that's all I've got to say. I'm going to give a couple of announcements as well. Just be aware that starting after today, we will not be meeting for Bible study for the next 2 weeks. We will resume our Bible studies back on January the 4th, 2015 at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. That is on a Sunday, so we will be doing that. And that's actually, about two weeks, because we original service times are on Wednesday nights at 10, and we're changing that to Sundays at 3, because just due to my schedule change that'll be happening. But there will be no services on December the 24th or December 31st due to the holidays. We will resume our services, like I said, in January of 2015 on January the 4th. So be sure to mark your calendars for that. And there's going to be there will be a slideshow announcement thing here on the platform, just in case you were like, okay, well, I don't know the service times. The service times will be posted. But other than that, from the staff and the congregation of the Well Fellowship Church, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a blessed Happy New Year 2015. And look forward to seeing you all here on January the 4th of 2015 as we continue to truck forward with what God has in store for our church. May God bless you guys today. May God bless you all during this Christmas holiday season. We love you. We thank you. Have a very Merry Christmas and have a blessed New Year. God bless you all.